Continue to pray for our community, pray for each and every one that resides here, that we can get a handle on this ridiculous gun violence that is taking place. Thank you.
A fed-up Metro Police Chief moments ago, in fact, within the last hour, the Chief, Jacqueline Gwynn Villarreal, with that strong message tonight, addressing the community after a Metro Police officer shoots and injures a man this afternoon in South Louisville. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. We're bringing you the latest on the breaking news happening today. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister. We want to get you right out to the scene. This is near Watterson Expressway and Taylor Boulevard in the Wyandotte neighborhood. So let's get to our crew there. WHAS 11's Alex Dieter and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie. Alex, what can you tell us at this hour?
Shay, Doug, just like you heard LMPD Chief saying, another act of gun violence here in the 1000 block of Beecher Street. Now, this is what we know so far. At around 2:30 this afternoon, LMPD 4th Division responded to this area in Camden Avenue and Beecher Street for a call of domestic violence. When they arrived at the scene, they found the male suspect sitting in a car with an AR-style pistol. Then, officers say that the suspect led them on a foot chase in what they call a heavily populated neighborhood. Here's what happened next.
And despite numerous verbal commands, the individual did not comply. The individual pointed the gun at officers, and an LMPD officer discharged his weapon, striking the individual. Officers immediately rendered life-saving aid.
The chief does say that the suspect was then taken to U of L Hospital, and currently the male suspect is in stable condition at this time. He was alert and conscious at the time that he was transported. Now, again, as you heard the chief say earlier, this is another act of gun violence in this neighborhood and another act of illegal possession of a firearm. Now, they did say that body cam footage worn by the LMPD officer should be released in 10 business days. And of course, we'll bring you the latest as any developments do occur here in this Beecher Street neighborhood. Live in Louisville, Alex Dieter, WHAS 11 on your side.
Okay, Alex, thank you very much. Today, we also learned the 5 soldiers killed in a helicopter crash into the Mediterranean Sea this weekend were stationed here in Kentucky at Fort Campbell. U.S.
officials say right now there's no indications the chopper was a target of any hostile activity. They were there training for a possible rescue mission for Americans trapped in the conflict between Hamas and Israel. So here are the soldiers: Chief Warrant Officer Stephen Dwyer from Tennessee, Chief Warrant Officer Shane Barnes from California, Staff Sergeant Tanner Groen from New Hampshire, Sergeant Andrew Southard from Arizona, and Sergeant Cade Wolf from Minnesota. They range in age from 24 to 38 years old. And now a search is underway for answers. Pentagon officials say the helicopter crashed due to a mishap while carrying out a routine air refueling mission. It happened during training. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin paying tribute, calling the accident a stark reminder that U.S. service members put their lives on the line daily to keep our country safe.
We have new information from the Kentucky governor late today about the death of a Ballardsville firefighter over the weekend, Ballardsville in Oldham County. Andy Bashir says authorities will investigate the wildfire that spread to a vacant building. It comes as there was a procession today across Louisville into Oldham County for 53-year-old Sergeant Thomas Petschke Jr. The procession began off South 3rd Street in Louisville to Crittenden Drive, onto I-65 North and 71, back to LaGrange to the funeral home on West Jefferson Street. Petschke died of a medical emergency on Saturday while fighting that fire, described as a hard-working family man who selflessly served this community.
It's been a rough couple days. You know, Tom was part of our family. Our fire department is a big family, and we're proud of that. So yeah, it's you know, we feel for the family. Everything. We're just wanting to make sure that this result for the family is the best procession, the best thing we can do to honor Tom.
The governor late today saying the ATF, the Oldham County Police Department, and the Oldham County Fire Marshal's Office are all now investigating the origin and cause of that wildfire that spread to the vacant building to see if there should be a further investigation. Also happening today, now in its third week, the Brett Hankerson federal trial now coming to a close in downtown Louisville. The defense resting its case at about 2:30 this afternoon after hours of testimony from Hankerson himself.
The former LMPD officer is charged with civil rights violations from the night Breonna Taylor died. Today he doubled down that he used his training when he fired blindly into Taylor's apartment. Alexis Jones reports from the courthouse.
Brett Hankerson was back on the stand today for an intense cross-examination. Prosecutors questioned his actions on the day Breonna Taylor was killed, including how he identified and isolated his target. Prosecutor Michael Songer showed pictures outside of Breonna Taylor's apartment window and sliding door. He asked Hankerson if he could see a person, a shadow, or even an outline of a person. Hankerson replied, "I could not." Hankerson says he knew the threat was walking up the hallway and saw muzzle flashes inside the door from where he was standing on the sidewalk. However, Songer says Hankerson's shell casings weren't found next to the apartment building. Instead, they were found behind a gray truck in the parking lot. He also mentioned two fellow officers testified they did not see muzzle flashes. After several more questions about the gunfire, Hankerson frustratedly said he now knows the shots were coming from officers, not Kenneth Walker. But at the time, he says he was under the impression his fellow officers were being executed. Songer then established there was a break in between Hankerson's 10 shots and gunfire in the doorway. Songer went back to former Sergeant John Mattingly's testimony to hearing a short break and Taylor's neighbor Cody Etherton saying he heard a pause. However, Hankerson says he stopped shooting once he saw the muzzle flashes ended, admitting he thought he took out the threat. Prosecutors argue Hankerson could have hit officers in the process if they had stepped inside of the apartment, but he says he knew they wouldn't walk inside, adding he thought everyone was being executed in the breezeway. Since then, both sides have rest. Now attorneys are giving closing arguments to the jury. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
All right, Alexis, thank you. Well, the strike is over for Ford, but today Louisville Ford workers find themselves divided over a contract deal with the automaker.
Overnight, local UAW 862 revealed its production workers voted against the deal, while the skilled trades workers, well, they voted in favor of it. Now, when all the votes were tallied, 55% of the workers at the Kentucky truck plant in eastern Jefferson County voted against the contract, while 53% of the workers at the Louisville Assembly plant down on Fern Valley Road voted for the contract. 55% of the production workers at the two plants voted against the new 4.5-year deal, while 69% of the skilled trade workers at the two plants voted for it. Well, the new contract would guarantee a 25% wage increase for workers and reinstate cost of living adjustments, which were something employees gave up during the financial crisis of 2008. Local 862 leader Todd Dunn here in Louisville says now that Louisville has had its say, we're going to just have to wait for the rest of the Ford workers across the country to cast their votes before a final decision is made.
It's an overall majority. You know, it's not a 50% plus one. Yes, it passed. You're good to go. So they take in all the numbers of everybody who voted across the country and do that population.
It's like that.
If the union votes to reject the contract, then it'll be back to the bargaining table for Ford and union leadership. Again, we're going to need to wait for the votes nationwide to determine what steps are taken next.
Well, this is the fall weather that nobody can complain about. Sunshine, gorgeous. You can wear a sweatshirt or not.
Oh, I know it. We have a fall that has just been remarkable because we've had day after day like this. The only thing about it is dry out there, and I know, Colleen, you've been keeping an eye on that. We need some rain. How about it this week?
You're going to have to wait till Friday. We are going to stay dry today throughout Thursday. In fact, it's some really nice weather here in Kentucky, and I like it when you can wear a sweater. You don't have to worry about a jacket. That's what we're seeing out there. We are starting to cool off. We were at 69. Now we're at 66 at the airport downtown. I was looking about an hour ago. We were at 70. So starting to cool off, a really nice evening ahead. If you have any plans for your Monday night. So for your evening stroll right around 6 o'clock, starting to get dark, 61 degrees. We are coming up on sunset here over the next 20 minutes. So the forecast tomorrow morning will be in the upper 30s. So plan for another chilly start. Not expected to dip below freezing here in the metro. Pleasant by the time we head towards noon, but we'll have an easterly wind tomorrow. So it's a little bit cooler tomorrow. Likely going to be staying in the low to mid 60s, but we have some drier weather. So that high pressure is moving off to the east, going to bring us some beautiful sunshine today through Thursday, but then once we head towards this weekend, we have another cold front passing through on Saturday into Sunday. I'm going to show you how cold that snap will last and maybe a preview of what we can expect for Thanksgiving here coming up shortly. Doug, Shay.
Mornings is so strong to where I can't even walk outside to get exercise. So that's when I realized it's bad.
And with that, she is talking about the smell. The smell really affects our entire city, but some people endure more than others. Louisville's sewer system is over 100 years old in many areas, built in the 1800s.
Changing weather patterns and less frequent rain means the self-cleaning system is too dry right now, causing hydrogen sulfide gas to escape the sewer. That's where those smells are coming from. Ariane Hardwood went to one of the neighborhoods most impacted by it today to share some resident concerns.
There are thousands of catch basins just like this one all across the city of Louisville, but the Air Pollution Control District says the sewer smells are worse in Louisville's West End neighborhoods. It's especially bad if it's near your bedroom window.
That's my bedroom window. Yeah. That stench comes in.
Quintella Pulliam can't stand it.
My first window here at nighttime, and you can smell it.
After 52 years of living around the Chickasaw neighborhood, now it's hard for her to find fresh air.
I think it's affecting my health tremendously. The stink is so bad, it's getting my sinus, making me have a lot of sinus infections. I get a lot of headaches. I know I'm old, but I'm sick much more than I used to be. Time is not on my side. And may I read something?
She brings her concerns directly to MSD at a press conference called by Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins.
We've identified the hotspot areas in West Louisville.
There, MSD's Executive Director Tony Parrott announces catch basin maintenance projects across several West End neighborhoods, including Pulliam's. Those basins, he says, are the primary culprit for the issue.
About 10% of them are not trapped, or they do not have the ability to have a water gap that would keep odors from emitting from those catch basins. So that's a big challenge for us.
Parrott said MSD is short-staffed in the face of so many odor complaints. They're working 7 days a week to address short-term issues, but his focus is on improving existing sewer infrastructure for the long term. In Louisville, Ian Hardwick, WHAS11, on your side.
There are several ways for you to report bad smells or air pollution in your neighborhood. The Air Pollution Control District recommends you use the Smell My City app. MSD encourages people to call them for sewer odors. And we have a list of all the different ways you can contact the city or MSD on our website. Go to WHAS11.com and click on this story.
We have a new traffic reminder for you on this Monday. If you use the Sherman Minton Bridge, of course, that's the bridge that connects Louisville to New Albany. This weekend, the bridge is going to be shut down, heading westbound. The closure is so crews can work safely as the Sherman Minton Renewal Project shifts into Phase 4. The westbound closure heading into southern Indiana will begin around 10 p.m. on Friday night. November 17th, the bridge will open again around 6 in the morning. That's Monday, November 20th. And then more weekend closures are coming up on the horizon. Another westbound closure on the bridge will happen 2 weeks later on the weekend of December 1st. And then a week after that, the bridge will close the other direction, heading into Kentucky. That's going to be the weekend on December 8th.
Tori Murden-McClure is retiring as the president of Spalding University after 25 years at the university, 14 at the helm. McClure said she plans on retiring at the end of this academic year. In a June 2024 statement, she said, "The university and I have had a great run, and serving Spalding has been the honor of a lifetime." McClure says she will miss the students and the staff at Spalding, and she says she doesn't plan on leaving Louisville, but will focus on the people in her life and some lifelong hobbies and goals during retirement.